And we are live for the Red Hand of Doom. Doug's got some eating. We've got no beautiful Brent face. We've just got a green orc. And of course, we've got Kate.
That's a homemade baked chip, everyone. That is delicious. My beautiful girl. Welcome to the live stream.
Hope your mouths are salivating for homemade chips and adventure, because we have it all in spades. We're serving it up hot, piping fresh here on the Sheriff Dan channel. In fact, it's been so long though. We've been so starved of the adventure of the fancy lads in the LC Vale that I need maybe a bit of a recap. Brent, you're usually pretty good at writing notes.
Okay, where are we at? So, we have arrived in Rhest Lake. We were sent here by some wood elves riding giant owls. They have asked us to clear out a dragon brood in the center of Rhest Lake in an old city's ruins. So we've traveled to Rhest Lake, at which point Saudade instantly went down to the dragon. Where did I write that down? Here it is. Yes, Regnax the Wormkeeper, the dragon we tracked down, and we attempted to fight and kill. However, he then ran and fled while Saudade was unconscious. Kegasus and Gronk then murdered their way through the remaining orcs and sent the dragon running off. Wormlord Sarvith, one of the orc commanders, is somewhere in the vicinity, and we are currently hunting for him. However, before Regnax the dragon did leave, he whispered something towards me and then flew off into the distance. At which point in time we were, I'll just say it, saved by our new, you're a wood elf, correct, Lom? Drow, apologies. So we have a drow who's come. Why don't you describe yourself for us?
Very, I guess, like wielding a large sword, long white hair, dark purple skin, fairly naked, drow with cleric abilities.
I mean, it's high time this group had a cleric. I've been saying this since the beginning. I wish they had a cleric. And never before have they had someone who could do what you do. And I think they're very grateful.
It's about time we had a healer.
Yeah. The party did...
I'll just casually save you guys all the time.
That's what our previous healers did.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is what we do.
I mean, could you really call the previous healer a healer?
A healer?
I mean, was he even ever there?
That's why he got deported.
Yeah.
Sorry, please continue, Brent.
Lom arrived and then just did some mass heals and dealt crits straight off the bat, so instantly a major fan from the Fancy Lads. And then we actually managed to find a Lich phylactery, and we are now attempting to destroy it. And that's where we left our heroes.
Absolutely. So yes, the phylactery was in the shape of, and if you're all in the game here, I'll pull this up on the screen. Was in the shape of a necklace that had a number of teeth built into the necklace part, and obviously the pendant sort of lion's claws branching off of it. Loam, you detected magic as best you could and discovered that there was sort of deep, dark necromancer evil emanating from this thing. And Keg, I believe you tried with your holy water, we should say. You passed the holy water, as it were.
Call it what it is.
Divine piss. Let's.
Thank you.
Tried to destroy this thing, or at least sort of burn off some of the necromantic energy, and it wasn't enough. It was sort of too powerful. Whatever this creature is, whatever spells it had done to create this thing, it was too powerful. And Loam suggested that one option would be taking it back to the tribe of Wood Elves that are in Starsong Hill, that had originally tasked you with clearing out this Orc fortress. Of course, another option is to keep it with you and, try and turn it to your will. Maybe sell it to Barnaby. I don't know.
No, I was saying give it to an old maiden.
And from there, I think is sort of where we start. The old man still sleeping in, Loam with her giant owl, Keg with Kegasis, and I believe the other creatures you brought with you died tragically. I don't know what happened to the. I think maybe
We
Kegasis
ate them.
died.
We ate them. We butchered them and we ate them. It was a spiritual thing.
gain their strength. Yeah. So what the let me pull up my notes here. I had notes here too. So the sun sort of peeks through. It's the morning of the 10th day of your time in the Elsia Vale. It's been 10 days since Hermione dropped you off here in her TARDIS Wizard Tower, asking you to right the wrongs of the past and stop Oguld Many Arrows and his Red Hand army from taking over the Vale. I'm not sure if you're doing it for that reason or just so that he won't take over your pub in the future.
I feel like that was more of a side quest, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And as the dawn rises, the sun kind of peeks through the windows of the old town hall in the middle of the Rhest Lake, and you can see on the edges of the lake the trees of the marshland in the distance. You can even hear the croaking and creaking of amphibians and insects filling the air. Gronk, you wake up having been covered in mosquito bites while you slept.
Oh.
And are covered in sort of small welts. You're not sure whether that's from your battles or whether it's just from insects, your greatest weakness.
Am I supposed to see the game map? Because I can't even see where we are.
No, it's all up here, baby. It's all in the mind.
Okay, cool. Easy.
Were these insects fireflies by chance?
Fuck you, Doug.
All right. That took me a second. That took me a hot minute. In the morning, probably not. Probably not fireflies.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
But as soon as 10 million fireflies, what's that song? 10 million.
Yeah,
fireflies.
our city. Yeah.
Someone will remember it.
I know, I got it, but yeah.
And then each bite
I'm
burns a
gonna sing
rage. Very good.
I roll over and try and swat them off my face.
You succeed. That sting, that lovely sting of brief ability to you kind of slap the welts, and they go from like, oh, that good pain to like kind of sore pain and itchy. As you realize that you're in the middle of a sort of a flooded city, and the waters around here are just a breeding ground for diseases and insects and terribleness. Because of this, you wake early and rouse the others with your plans on where to go next.
All right, so it's day 10, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying we just slept?
Yes, you've had a
Yeah,
long
nice.
rest.
Woo!
Ooh.
Give me that long rest, yes.
Yes. Power up.
All right, so day 10, yeah?
Yeah. If memory serves, the on foot back to the elfish camp would probably take you a day or so. Well, actually probably less than that, but it's pretty hard going. You've got to get across the lake, of course, and back across. Loam, you have a giant owl. However, it's really only capable of carrying you.
Cool. I'm definitely sitting on it.
I summon Kegasis.
Okay.
I walk like a pleb. Without an animal guardian.
Because we ate it.
So, Saudade mounts Gronk and uses Gronk as his animal. And says, "My son, go forth. My skin is already wrinkly. I cannot, in good conscience, be dropped in the water at all. I need you to hold me above the waterline, so that I don't shrivel up and die." Keg, you're able to jump on Kegasis, and Kegasis's buoyancy is quite immense, I assume. And Kegasis makes slow progress, kind of dog paddling or horse paddling across the lake to the distant shore. Loam, you can kind of wait until they're about 3/4 of the way across before you jump on the owl and just swoop. Your owl's a little bit unimpressed with you because it is first thing in the morning, and you're asking your owl to fly. So I'm going to need an animal handling check from you.
Ooh, alrighty. Do. First roll.
It's pretty good.
Did that do it?
You've rolled it twice. That's fine.
Oh.
Possibly three
3
times. First one's good though.
I do that all the time.
A 17. The owl kind of goes to give you kind of a bite, like a bit of a nip as you move to it. But what do you do to sort of calm it down? And
I just like shush it and I pull out like a little lizard that I definitely had in my pouch and just kind of flick it into its mouth, and it already knows and opens its mouth. And
yeah. So
new pals.
it definitely goes to bite you because it's angry of being awake. And then, but you quickly grab the lizard out, throw it, and it definitely catches it mid bite, and it kind of gives you a bit of a and does like that weird head turn thing that owls can do. You jump on and fly up, looking at the paddling Kegasis with Keg on its back, and possibly a Gronk holding Kegasis's tail being pulled along like a surfboard. Saudade standing on Gronk's back like those people on those paddle boards that you see in the bay. Or like SpongeBob on the back of Hasselhoff. So you make it to the shore and you start making your way sort of southwest, south, heading back. And is your goal to head back to the elf town?
Well, yeah. So we cleared out the brood. They owe us some help fighting this army.
Yeah. Why not? They can't be anything but impressed with us.
Yeah.
They will also help us with the phylactery.
This is also true.
Yes. And I feel like that is important.
Unless one of you is wearing it.
Who
I
has
think you
the
have it,
phylactery,
don't you?
by the way?
I think
have
Mom
it?
has it. I think you do, yeah. I think we have it too. I'm going to assume that Saudade stole it, which is in his nature to instantly snatch whatever key core quest item is required. And then I'm going to say that we convinced him to give it to you.
Okay, cool.
That sounds all right.
And now he's pouting and doesn't want to walk.
Yes.
Or talk for the rest of the...
Yep.
Yeah, he's pouting for this episode.
How convenient.
Cool. Sweet. So you make it to the southern shore. Loam, you're able to kind of scout up above and things like that. But who's leading? Who's sort of the Keg? You're the nature boy. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm leading. I'm vibing our way there.
Cool. Do you want to give me like a survival check then, or like I'll accept nature in this instance.
Yeah, I feel like this is like we're riding Keg's wheelhouse here. Like I said, right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Natty 20.
Well, it's a dirty 20. Let's be real.
The internet doesn't need to know the truth, dude.
Yeah. Oh, the internet can see, mate. We can't hide anything from the internet. You easily get them on a path though. Keg kind of clopping along through the marshes and through the kind of swampy areas of the Blackfens. you end up getting to a point where you kind of make a choice. Do you follow the river along and cross, and then you'll have to cross the river at some stage, or will you sort of just keep following the sort of pre-established roads?
With enough ale, maybe they can be inured against the horrors below.
If you would like from the end.
Lome, I appreciate that, but you are new here. We sort of vibe things out. Looking ahead is a bit spoilerish for us.
Also my forest, though.
The vibe will work. I think we'll go along the river. Things will most likely be okay. Probably right under the trees where it's particularly hard to see where the vibe is the strongest.
By the way, don't use the giant owl. That's fine.
Or the person that lives in this forest with first-hand experience.
She'll
How old
learn
are
our
you?
ways.
How old are you?
She'll learn our
How
ways
long have
too.
you lived here?
That's
no,
yeah,
no experience. No experience. Go for the vibe.
Okay.
You never ask a wood elf how old they are. It's rude, mate.
It's a culture thing. It's more of a religion thing.
Look, I get it because orcs only live like 30 years at best because they're
Yeah.
always fighting. Like, it doesn't understand that that's rude as fuck. So I think I actually missed so Keg's just going with the vibe. Was the vibe crossing the river or was it following the trail?
Crossing the river, 100%.
Cool. So you come across, you sort of find a good spot in the river. It's actually ahead of a bit of a waterfall. There's some fallen trees and stones that allow for relatively, what may be relatively safe crossing. And let me pull it up.
Lome is definitely not getting wet. She's hanging back, and I'm gonna watch them. See what happens.
It's fair. Owls hate being wet.
Oh, whoa. Oh, how prepared.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
So here we are at the river that you want to attempt to cross. Keg, of course, you have Keg Assist. Let me pull out the old Keg Assist.
It's alright, guys. I've played Frogger.
Whoops, why is Keg Assist dead? Let's bring Keg Assist back to life.
Come on, Pegasus.
Be hanging out with the lich, just pulls out a dead horse, like, oh shit.
Yeesh. Shouldn't have burned down that forest.
Should have burned down the forest. Would have been a much easier solution to all of our problems. Oh no, I'm alone. I'm outnumbered against the two hippies.
Cool. All right. So the four of you, I guess 6 of you, if we count the giant owl as well, right? We count the giant owl. The giant owl's people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He's people too.
We shan't eat him today.
I can't let you.
All right. So you come to this river. The current is moving southeast. Or, on your screen, southeast. What's the plan?
We throw Saudade in, see how deep it is, see how fast the...
Do you want to give me an athletics check to see how far you can throw him?
Oh, okay. Pretty far?
Pretty far. I think he sort of puts up a bit of a fuss. Then you throw him his kilt flapping in the wind as you launch him over onto one of these mushrooms on so this big kind of vine or fallen tree that's sticking out of the water, and he's able to kind of scramble up on top and kind of sits up there looking back at you balefully.
Are there any like tree branches overhanging? Oops, I can't. Like overhanging like this over top of these?
There's probably some vines like into the water, or are you from the bank? Are you trying to say if there's like?
Yeah, if there's like an overhanging branch from like upwards.
Yep.
that I could maybe grappling hook swing myself over?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it's probably I'd say that's like an acrobatics check to kind of swing out
Cool.
and
Yep.
trapeze across.
Natty 20!
Absolutely. So you describe it to him.
Yeah, there's an overhanging branch coming from the northern bank, and I whip out my grappling hook, give it a nice, easy heft, good connection, swing over, double pirouette, backflip, land next to the old man, and like, oh, something's running the family. He looks at me scowling and then gives me a 9 for this not sticking the landing.
Keg
Parents are always their hardest critics.
Keg and Loam, you're here with a Kegasis and an owl, and I'd like to think it's one of those puzzles where you have to get across the river, but you can't put Keg and Loam in the same boat at the same
With
time. Like
rapid or
everyone
something,
knows,
right?
yeah, giant owls and Kegasai are worst enemies, so you have to like take them across separately.
Okay, Loam's gonna fly across on the owl and try and outdo Gronk with a triple pirouette or something off the back of the owl while moving.
All right, so this is going to be an acrobatics check, Loam. I hope you come prepared.
I got a natty 20.
In fact, you sort of the owl takes you across, but the sun kind of gets in your eyes as you leap backwards. That
Enemy, the sun.
the morning sun, and you land next to Gronk, but kind of slip and start sliding off. And you're going to take 6 points of damage as you kind of scrape your shins on this thing.
Ah, my shins.
Okay.
All right. Well, Keg and Kegus has been practicing his flying for a long time. So Keg's like patting him on the mane, the wooden mane. He's like, "Come on, mate, you got this. We've been working at this." And I give him a good kick in the stirrups, and he just launches himself across the river. And amazingly, he lands it without even needing to roll. It's beautiful. Not a pirouette, but just a clean.
Let's see. Kegasis is going to give it his best here. It's not great though. There's a loud splash. With you on Kegasis's back, you sort of splash in the water and start sort of racing towards. Start being pulled by the current.
I immediately throw my stick my grappling hook into the ground of the point that I'm standing.
Yeah.
And sprint off and dive into the water in front of them.
Okay.
Wow, what a hero!
I'm now getting swept downstream too. But I'm pinned.
Yeah, so you're anchored, right? You're anchored to the
So I'm stuck in the water.
Right, Kegasis goes crashing into Gronk. Keg goes crashing into Kegasis.
I try and hold them all.
All right, give me that athletics check.
23?
23, yeah, absolutely. So you're able to kind of anchor yourself with the chain grappling hook, of course, and support the weight of yourself, Keg, and Kegasis all being pulled by the torrent of the water here. Meanwhile, though, Loam, can you give me a perception check, please?
I have good perception.
You certainly
Nice.
do. You notice on the far bank a number of lizard folk that have been sort of going about their business here, are looking over and kind of pointing up at your owl. And everyone, we're going to roll initiative.
Oh, is it on this island that we're on?
They're
Yeah, I can
across
see where you
the,
pinged. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I had to zoom out.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh no.
That's a lot of fucking dice.
It's a lot of dice. How many of these lizard people are there?
Several.
Loam, were you able to roll for initiative?
Oh wow. A 2.
Perfect.
Can I roll for the owl?
What's that?
Can I roll for the owl?
I've rolled for the owl. 30, 120. Just look too far. You and Saudade watch as one of the lizard folk dives into the water and starts swimming towards you all. Assumedly, he's under the water.
Oh, it's terrifying because of the shadows. I can't see him because I'm over the other edge, which is awesome, but terrifying.
Yeah. Loam, you right to act, and then it'll be Gronk.
Oh shit.
I thought you got a 2 long. I thought
Yeah.
Oh, I must have updated with your other one actually.
Oh shit.
You know what? I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you that too.
Oh no, sorry.
You go tomorrow.
Yeah, my turn. Sniped. So my how do I do this?
While you're figuring that out, chat would like to know what the giant owl's name is, and chat would like to call it Shadowfax.
Yeah.
Shadowfax.
Yeah. Is that the horse from Skyrim?
That's the horse from the Lord of the Rings. No, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
Love it.
My chain and grappling hook's like connected in here, yeah, like into the middle of the island.
Yep.
So I want to do. I don't know if this is going to work because I want to do some sort of like a parabolic arc swing around this way, with it connected using the current.
Yeah, yep.
To get me like a gravity assist to launch into this lizard in the water.
Okay. That's probably too far to get directly at him. So you've got maybe like what, for 30, 40 feet of extension.
Swim movement.
You can get around, but like you can get, up here somewhere.
I have a 40-foot chain, so wherever that hits, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, you can. I mean, you could run along and perhaps bring Keg and Kegasis with you. It is going to require
just short.
a difficult
all my movement. Okay.
Athletics check.
Cool.
As you're sort of going under the strain of that sort of extra G's of swing, becoming the Sultan of swing, if you will.
That's not going to be good enough.
That's pretty good.
19? You take it?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
So, you get sort of to your movement there, which is going to bring these guys sort of around the bend here.
Yeah.
We start kicking too, and we realise what's going on.
Yeah.
And can I use my? Sorry. You go.
So that's your movement. What are you doing
Yep.
as your action?
I'm going to keep us moving. I'm going to keep dragging the 3 of us. The next. For my swing speed's what? What is my
30,
swing speed? Just pulling it up
your
now.
Speed is 0, but I don't think that's accurate.
That says my speed is 0. Yeah.
That can't be accurate. What's your normal speed?
Yeah,
45?
all of it's 0. Yeah.
You can swim straight down. What is?
Do you want to pull up D&D Beyond?
Yeah, it might be in there. I think it's like half. Yeah. Usually when climbing or swimming, you expend 2 feet for every foot moved. Especially because you're going to be going against the current now. It's not a crazy current. Like it's not a huge waterfall. It's not going to, probably murder you.
So what, 20 feet?
Yeah, I'll give you 20 feet, and you're going to have to make another athletics check, and it's going to have to be also above an 18. Because now you're going like against the current, right? And you're pulling these boys with you.
I'll do it.
No. So you get a little bit. You get sort of like 10 feet, but not
Cool.
not the whole shebang.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Lizard man.
More lizard folk. What's this guy doing? He's gonna leap across onto the rocks and throw a javelin at you.
It's a long fucking throw.
Yeah,
That was a long throw.
He misses. What is that? 55. Yeah, he would be at disadvantage anyway. But the javelin whistles through the air and just plonks into the water and then sort of goes away.
You throw like my mother, and she's dead.
You just hear Saudade go, that's rude. And he just sits down. He's sitting this one out. Old Saudade. He says, son, you've got this. Stay dry. And don't eat after swimming. It's bad for you. Okay.
Keg realizes what's going on as a spear comes hurtling into the water in front of his eye line. And he instantly thinks, oh, this isn't very fun anymore. So he lets go of the chain and allows himself to sink to the bottom of the river. Because he can just walk along the bottom. He doesn't need air. So as he's on the bottom of the river, he begins to charge to the shore.
Okay.
Which I think is his whole movement, and will just get him to the shoreline.
All right, so you're going to use your action to kind of dash along the shoreline and along the bottom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So you fall off or slide off Kegasis, I guess. Make your way under the water and sort of climb up onto the bank of the far side. Now, I believe if you are dashing, I mean, Doug, you are dashing, but also if Keg is dashing, that he can make a weapon attack as a bonus action. Is that correct?
Yeah. Hell yeah, it is, because I know my character like the back of my hand. And here we go. Just going to smash him in the face and we're tanking.
Cool. Not with a 13, you're not, unfortunately. This one in particular has this kind of like spiked tortoiseshell shield that he's able to kind of get up in front of you as he holds a morning star in his other hand, and he kind of hisses and at you.
I hiss back, and I assume I'm saying, I'm a bit of a tank myself.
Loam, your owl is obviously above you, having just deposited you. Do you give it any orders, or what is it? Any commands?
Yeah, I've like my fingers, maybe a little whistle to get it to come and grab me.
Mm-hmm. It swoops down and kind of sits down there, ready to pick you up on its back and launch into the air. Keg, same question for Kegasis. He's sort of being Big Spoon with Gronk right now. Actually, he's probably being Little Spoon because Gronk's got his arms around Kegasis. And you know Kegasis, he likes being the Little Spoon sometimes.
Yeah.
It gets cold out there in the forest.
I'm real good at hugging.
Before I left, I said muffledly underwater, protect the orc.
Okay, so Kegasis just is there providing warmth and positivity in Keg speak.
Good vibes.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Yeah.
Which I had when we came to this river.
More lizard folk dashing across the rocks here. And they're throwing javelins at you, Gronk, with disadvantage. Disadvantage. Nope, just sploosh, sploosh, sploosh as this sort of rain of spears tips into the water near you. Keg, one of the others was readying his javelin to kind of throw it at the owl, perhaps. But he sees you come out of the water like a swamp thing. And he runs forward and throws it at you, this javelin. It's 14 to hit. I assume does not hit.
No, not even close.
The one you're
Lands meters away from me.
It also lands near Gronk somehow. Just splash. The one in front of you that you're kind of hissing at, saying "Hello, I'm also a tank." It sort of hisses and snarls back at you, and brings down the Morning Star. Which one did you 15 to hit, finding no purchase as you easily just sort of step out of the way. He swings his head around and tries to bite at where your fleshy neck would be if you're a human boy, but you're not. And there's just sort of this clang of its teeth, perhaps fracturing on your wood and metal frame.
Not a very friendly tank.
No. Meanwhile, this is what he looks like too, by the way. So he's just not that pleasant. It's not a nice boy.
Oh.
One of the others, instead of sort of these big shields and so on, he has this lizard. I guess it's hard to tell as you haven't taken a lot of lizard anatomy classes. If it is a he or a she, the lizard has sort of feathers adorning its head and sort of a flared crest, and is shaking kind of a staff at you, and weeds and vines start sprouting from the ground around you, and I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Excellent. Just great. Just what I love. Just. Strength. Where is strength? That's up here. Because I know my character like the back of my hand.
Could be easier.
Could be easier. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So these, whilst these vines and reeds try and grow out of the ground and the water and wrap themselves around you, Keg, you are easily able to just like tear at them, and they come apart. Meanwhile, Loam.
Alrighty, I guess I quickly jump up onto the owl and seeing everyone kind of rush off in one direction, but I can't actually see any bad guys, head straight up into the air and then towards the direction that they were. As far as I can, I guess.
Yep. As you kind of head out and gain height, you can see that Keg is somewhat surrounded by two lizardmen and some sort of lizard shaman, whilst two are over here on a rock to the sort of southeast of you throwing javelins at Gronk and Kegasus, and there's one sort of a shape underwater that might be hard to hit that's moving around under the water, making its way towards your friends.
Keg looks up at Loam and yells out, "I might have had the wrong vibe."
We should go back across the river.
Just make a salute. I passed. I just, on a side note, am wondering how I can freely move the map around. I can only zoom in and out on one point at the
Click.
If you right click
Mouse.
and drag.
Yeah, one drag.
Yeah, that's awesome. Alrighty. Now that I can see the bad guy. I might actually... So everyone is engaged in combat?
Except for Gronk. I mean, he's engaged in
I'm getting in missile combat.
swimming.
In swimming. Alright, I think I'll do... I'm gonna cast a fireball and hit...
There you are.
Yeah. Alright, a 20-foot range.
Gronk would say, "No, you're fucking not," though.
I can hit 3 people. The 3 down the bottom here on that little island.
So if you, I think if you've got your character sheet open in Foundry in the game.
No, I don't.
That's right. I'll see if I can do it here. If I click Fireball, I can place a template. Yeah. So yeah, you can hit 3 of them.
Yeah, cool. Definitely
This.
go for 3.
Yeah, we'll say that hits. So they need to make dexterity saving throws. As you launch, a small bright streak flashes out from your fingers up on the owl, hovers above the water for a minute, and then flashes in this explosion of flame. The first lizard folk, why? He doesn't have they don't have custom names. Gross. Dexterity saving throw. I mean, they're just going to die so quickly now that they're not, the chortled lizard man and whatnot. Second one, a saving throw. They're all not doing great. Yeah, so they all take the full brunt of that 28 damage, which incinerates the 2 lizard folk throwing stuff at Gronk. And greatly singes the one trying to entangle and cast spells on Keg. He sort of rolls around in the greenery, trying to stamp out the fire, and looks up at you, Loam, as if seeing you kind of for the first time up on this owl.
Cool.
I think that's pretty much your turn.
Yeah. I did also get on an owl.
That's, yeah. What's this guy got? One of the lizard folk, or the lizard folk that was underwater, sort of pops his head up and throws a javelin up at you, Loam. And just spears through you and the owl. I'm going to say with the crit, he also hits the owl. And you're going to take 7 damage. And so is the owl. The owl's not happy. Sorry, Shadowfax is not happy.
Great name.
10 out of 10.
Gronk.
Okay. By our powers combined, Keg and I now make 1 horsepower. So,
He's not wrong.
yeah, we're gonna, as a team, as a unit, we're gonna charge forward and decimate this lizard folk in the water.
Gronk, are you leading this unit?
Yes.
So are you some sort of G unit? Thank you, Twitch. Thank you. F in the chat. F in the chat.
Such a tool. Alright, let's fucking go to work. Do what I do.
Now you're at a disadvantage fighting in the water here because you have a big cleavy weapon. But either way, a 13 is not going to work. So we'll just say your first attack misses, and the second one strike again. Kagus just sort of come with you.
Thank you. If I do an unarmed strike, I was supposed to ask really. They can breathe underwater, can't they?
Yes.
Okay, so I can't drown him.
If you try and drown you, I mean, he might grapple you and drag you under.
Yeah.
Give the crocodile death roll.
Is an unarmed strike going to be at disadvantage?
Yes. So the other things like javelins, tridents, spears, like sort of those kind of weapons.
Okay. Yep. I'm going to throw a javelin at him then.
All right. So you drop the axe?
Well, no, I can hold it one-handed and then just reach with the javelin over the back of my thing and throw it one-handed.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm guessing 9 won't do it, though.
No. So you lunge forward with the javelin underwater, and this lizard folk deftly sort of swims out of the way,
Yeah.
splashing water in your eyes as he does so.
Well, that's rather upsetting. I hope Pegasus can kill him.
Saudade yells out, "You're doing great, son. Remember all the lessons that I taught you when I was there when you were a child."
How is always steal first not going to help me now?
Preemptively retaliate. Okay.
You've got his character down perfectly.
Get your revenge in first.
That's right. Shaun actually messaged that to me tonight. He said, by the way, to play Saudade, make sure you always strike first.
Oh, that's perfect. The one that's right next to me tried to bite me.
Yeah.
So Keg tries to bite it back. Because I assume he's like still up in Keg's grill as all this is going on very quickly.
Yeah, you saw like an explosion of fire behind him. Lizards screaming and dying. But this guy's right up in your grill, hissing and whatnot. So give me a melee weapon attack, but then we'll assume it's a bite.
Excellent. Well, I was actually going to use the bite as a distraction to uppercut it in the stomach with my tankard. I was going to see how well the bite went, but that's all good. We'll go straight with the tankard attack. I was hoping to fish for the advantage.
Well, thanks to chat, you do have. If you look at the chat, you've got a little advantage. Inspiration dice. So does Loam. Gronk has nothing because he's no one likes him.
That's fair enough. I don't blame him. Doesn't like himself.
But if you want to help out the team, you can exclamation mark cards to try and get cards to play. Keg's been sitting on some boons, but looks like he's not going to need it in this one. A 20 to hit.
Right. Add more rules to the game. That's what I need.
That's right. Well, it's actually just a way that I could make my own players watch my own Twitch chat. I'm just going to ride my friends to famousness. 7 bludgeoning damage.
Wrong.
Excellent.
Wrong one.
Excellent. And then I am going to go again. Oh, yes. These rolls. Man.
Another 7 bludgeoning damages. Do you want to describe? So you give him the uppercut. What else do you give him?
First, I give him the bite.
Mm-hmm.
The bite, and that distracts him. Then I give him the uppercut. He's shocked by that and looks down. And then I bring the tankard around and smack him on the back of the skull with it.
Excellent. He's sort of reeling from that. He looks like he's still got plenty of fight in him, though. And he sort of readies his Morning Star to try and strike back. Before that, though, Loam, you've got the owl beneath your legs, directing it where to go. It has been injured, so it is sort of flapping painfully. You and it having both taken sort of a javelin strike. Do you order the owl to go anywhere, do anything, have a cup of tea? What's going on?
Yeah, I think she's going to take me as close to that other island she can. Just kind of unceremoniously dump me on the floor.
Yeah. So she can definitely sort of get you all the way there. Where would you like her to put you?
In front of that baddie that is not engaged.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want to be back to back with Keg or?
Yes.
Cool. The owl kind of swoops down. Keg, you sort of see shadows block out the sun, and you think, thank the gods, Barnaby's not here. He's scared of birds. As an onyx figure drops down in a swirl of fabric and lands in front of this lizard man. Kegasis is going to try and hooves attack this lizard man, sort of kicking him in the chest for 8 bludgeoning damage here, as a bit of a team up action happens in the river.
That's what I wanted. Kegasis and Gronk getting after it, forming a sort of unit.
The lizard folk you've dropped in front of Loam and kind of looked up. what kind of landing is it? Are we talking like superhero landing? Is it like light-footed? You know, is it backflips all the way down? Like, what's going on? Okay.
I'm so sorry. What was that?
What is the landing like? Describe to me the landing that Loam does. Is it superhero style? Is it backflip style? Trapeze artist? YMCA?
The owl comes in and kind of goes up real quick, and she just kind of like slides off and tries to just whoop, land
Just whoop.
as a pop because the owl is like bleeding.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, thank you for the DM Daddy advantage, Brent. That comes from you.
You're welcome. Yeah, no worries.
Loam with a little whoop comes in landing. This lizard though is going to try and hit you with a club. It's trying to go clubbing. 13 to hit. It's not going to hit. And he's also going to try and bite you. That is going to hit though. 8 piercing damage as he gets a little nip at you in a way that the owl was not able to do. Keg, the lizard folk, super not stoked about you being able to uppercut him and slam him in the back of the head. He's going to try and shove you with his shield, with the sort of the turtle spikes on it. But it doesn't hold up. This sort of organic carapace just sort of crunches into the mithril steel of the shield of Anduin, the shield of kings from the Nerath Empire, and you're able to fight him off. Meanwhile, the Morningstar sort of swings around, and you easily sort of get the tankard up to block that.
I look at him and I say, if you're not going to try, I'll just kill you.
The shaman sort of it's finished sort of putting out all the fires on it, and in fact sort of lifts its hand up, and it's sort of almost like holding some of the fire, and it seems to sort of whisper in this sort of hissing, slithering kind of sound. And sort of blows the fire at you as if blowing a kiss at you, Keg. And your tankard starts to glow red hot in your hand.
Can you imagine if Keg has his Thor's moment and he loses the fucking mug?
Well, in fact, I need you to take 2d8 fire damage. Here we go. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, or you can drop the object.
Oh, we're not dropping it. That's not happening. I'll die with this thing in my hand.
The creature must succeed. Okay, so you fail. The heat heats up so much you take 6 fire damage. And even you, like as you're fighting with this thing, almost as if the wood in your hands has a will of its own. It releases and the tankard falls to the ground.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine.
All right, Lo.
All right, just having freshly landed, I am just going to whip out blade, which sounds really cool, and then go for a strike on this lizard dude.
Okay.
16?
16 will hit.
Oh. $15 damage.
Yeah, so you spin about, the blade sort of ringing, glowing in the light of the sun, and sort of strike him. He's not looking great.
Can I also? No, okay, nothing else. That's it.
Do you get 2 attacks as a?
I don't know because that was a spell. Oh, that was a cantrip though.
Oh, I thought that was just your regular attack.
No, that was an illusion cantrip.
Oh, there we go. That's cool.
Yeah. So can I attack with my sword now? Can I draw my?
Oh no, I think that is your sword, right? Like the.
No, it says you.
Oh, you weave together threads of shadow to create a sword of solidified gloom in your hand. The magic sword lasts until the spell ends. It counts as a martial weapon. Deals 2d8 radiant damage. Cool. Yeah, so that is your attack then. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm done.
All right. Lizard folk in the water. He's going to try and spear you. Gronk?
Prick. He can try. I have a Kegasus.
14.
Yeah, it hits.
5 piercing damage.
Oh, no, it doesn't. 15. I gotta level it up. No, it's 15.
So you thought it was about to hit you, but you sort of push off Kegasus to get a little bit of space and are able to avoid the spear, but it leads you right into his maw, where he just clamps down for 5 piercing damage.
Oh.
But it's your turn.
I will respond by trying to axe him in his genitals.
So you have to now decide, are you going to drop the javelin?
I threw the javelin at him.
Oh, I thought you just thrust it at him.
Oh, no, I threw it. That thing is gone.
Yeah.
It was also my last javelin. I've had those since I was level 1, and they're all gone now. I've kept them for years.
Your javelin's gone. My tank is gone.
And I've slowly used them, yeah.
It's a sad day.
Ooh, why did that roll so many dice? What the fuck is that symbol?
That's natty 20. However, I'm going to step on your parade because you're in the water. You have disadvantage.
Oh!
Wow.
Fuck!
Wow.
Alright, what are the odds I'm going to roll this twice?
Just in case you needed a bit of blue balls on this fine Tuesday night. 18 still will hit.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, 14 damage isn't 29 damage, though.
How do you want to do this?
Oh, okay. I'm going to axe him in the genitals. So it's just going to be one straight cleave, and he's gone.
So you come up with the super attack, slicing through the water, and he definitely dodges out of the way. But what he doesn't realize is that you continue spinning like a top in the water, water flying off around you, as if you're like a garden, one of those little sprinkler systems. And you sort of just cut him right into the genital flap that lizards have, I assume. I haven't really looked it up. If anyone wants to jump on the Discord and let me know. Saudade, at this point, in true Shaun fashion, has looked up what lizard genitalia look like and screams it out to you in case you needed to know. Okay.
Now, this one here, am I highlighting?
Nope. The one you face?
I see the one you mean, though. The one that's fighting low.
This one. Is this the shaman?
No, the shaman's a little bit south of you.
Is this the shaman?
Yes.
Yes, excellent. All right.
The tankard is still sort of glowing red hot on the ground.
Yes. I yell out to Loam, whatever happens, leave this one to me, because I assume Gronk is still underwater. I try and reach down for the tankard. What happens?
It burns your hand.
And so I can't hold it.
You can. You need to make another Constitution save to actually pick it up. It's going to hurt you with fire either way.
Okay, that's fine.
So you're able to grit your teeth and bear through it, but you do take seven fire damage.
That's fine, not a problem. Okay, excellent. And then the one in front of me, I push him to the side so he can go for his little attack of opportunity or whatever, and walk past him and start heading towards the shaman.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna try and bite at you as you. He's gonna snap at you as you go past. That's a 21 to hit.
Hang on. Well, that is just cinematically fun. A 21 to hit, actually. So as I push him to the side, because he's been like so pathetic in our little one-on-one fight, he goes to bite me, and 21 to hit actually bounces off my shield. So I hold my shield up, he tries to bite it, and he goes flying back 2 feet, or whatever it is, and I continue on marching towards the shaman.
Yeah. So I believe he still gets the, like, you still take the damage, but then, yeah, the sort of a boom as if, you know, Thor's hammer's hitting Cap's shield kind of thing. And
yes.
Which direction did you want to send him? I'll allow it.
Towards water.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
So he goes flying into the water where you hear sort of a comical splash as he lands in there. And
excellent.
You certainly have enough speed to get up in this shaman's grill.
Wonderful. Now I want to divine smite him.
Okay. Roll the attack.
Easy. Just gotta find it here in my spell book.
So you can just roll. Well, you have to roll a hit first with your regular weapon attack.
Easy. We're just gonna roll here to attack.
You know, the way you have been for the past 4 years.
So 19 will definitely hit. In fact, he's sort of got his hands up trying to burn your hand. You see him sort of channeling magic into the tankard, and it's burning your hand. And with this, like, you don't even need any sort of divine magic. You just hit him with it once, and the burning of the tankard itself sort of hits him, and just knocks him out cold. You can add a bit of divine flavor on that if you want, though.
Well, I would like to rip his skull off and put it on my belt.
Okay. Yeah.
So whatever. I don't know what I need to roll, but his skull is leaving with me.
Yeah, you don't need to roll for that. I think you as soon as you hit him with it, you feel the tankard start getting cooler again, and the worst part is not actually the pain in your hand. It's probably that, like, he just boiled away a bunch of the alcohol that was in the cup itself, right?
There is no punishment great enough for this man, lizard.
And you're able to kind of rip that what was left of his head off his shoulders and secure it on your belt.
Excellent. Back to the other maggot.
Back in the water.
We'll say that's your turn to do that.
I would say so, yes. That'll about do it.
The owl Shadowfax is sort of swooping around and tries to kind of dive bomb the lizard you're fighting with, Lo.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, with a 7 to hit, is not going to do it. And Shadowfax, she kind of gains height again and gets out of the way. Kegasis is going to nose over to you, Gronk, and kind of grab you and kind of bring you down river with him.
Okay.
Towards
yes.
towards this guy.
Yes.
And
fight as a unit.
Is gonna try to hooves this boy because it behooves him to sit up and take notice. And Pegasus bloodies him. The lizard folk fighting you, Loam, tries to hit you with a big old heavy club. He's not impressed by your shadowy nonsense sword. He has a real physical weapon. And hits you with a 16 to hit.
Yeah.
For three damage.
Big hit.
And then he's going to bite you because you look tasty. And that's, again, 16 to hit, this time for 7 damage.
Low, not looking good.
The lizard folk in the water is going to try and attack, having sort of recovered his senses somewhat, formerly standing on the shore. now, in the water. He's going to try and bite at Kegasis. For a 12 to hit for 8 damage. And
Does he have any other moves?
and he has a
Bitey.
shield. He's a bit bitey though.
Very bitey.
He's like a young pup, Just got to teach him not to bite. Keg, Gronk. Cool. And it's your turn, Lone.
No, I'm gonna try and hit him. I already got my blade out, so I'm just swing again with that blade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a 10.
10 is not going to cut it, unfortunately.
Alright. What else do I
Any bonus actions?
I can cast Sacred Flame? Cantrip?
If it's a bonus action.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I actually don't think I have any.
So your bonus action spells are like your a healing word, I think would be one.
Can I do a level spell after I've attacked?
Yeah, because you've done a cantrip. So you can do a cantrip and a regular spell.
Oh, okay, cool. I might do Mass Healing Word then, so that I can also get Keg and Shadowfax in.
Yep.
That's a 6 foot.
Is that a regular action or a bonus action?
That is one bonus action.
Cool. All right, yeah, but Mass Healing Word.
God, it's nice having a cleric.
6 health. Oh, that's Shadowfax, Keg, and myself.
Yeah, up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see.
Can I see?
Yeah, you can see all these.
Well, then everybody.
Yeah, regain 6 health. So that's including you, Keg. I'll do it for the animals. They're looking mighty healthier.
6 health. Thank you.
Oh, I'm back at full strength.
Heck
Cool.
yeah.
And it's your turn, Gronk.
Oh, just gonna do him in, Just gonna
Let's give him the old one.
Take his skull.
move up.
Now remember, these attacks are at disadvantage.
Right. Did that work? No. Okay. Was that just damage?
No, it was just the attack.
Okay. So I was trying to roll with disadvantage, so that didn't work either. Why is it rolling so many dice?
Well, that one you critted.
Oh.
So I'll take just the 9 plus all your nonsense.
Yeah, so yep.
9 plus
Then
7
damage.
is 16, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this?
I'm gonna feed him to Kegasis.
Nice. Very nice.
I don't know what does Kegasis make brew. Does Kegasis brew booze inside it like you do? I assume so. It's a keg.
No, he holds it.
Oh, I've ruined whatever's inside this Kegasis. I've just put a lizard in it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
it might be good. We don't know.
It's whatever's left of the Wizard of Wine's winery stuff, I imagine.
So what we're doing is making tequila
was a
now
good
with
drop.
lizard bits in it instead of the snakes.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's like putting the snake or the scorpion in, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, Cake.
Actually, can I get to land as well? Can I make it to land? Do I have enough distance to get to land? Yes, I can get to land.
Just, yeah.
I'll get right up next to Lum, actually. Oop.
I love the idea that, and maybe I'm mispronouncing it, but I love the idea that she introduced herself as Loam, but Gronk only calls her Lom.
She's not gonna correct him. Like
No.
she's too awkward.
So there's a girl at work who introduced herself as Michaela, but everyone calls her Michaela.
Oh, yeah.
That's because Michaela is not a real name. That's why. And if you're listening to this, Michaela, it's not a real name.
Keg.
All right, Keg's running over to Loom
Every time
to back her up, and starts laying into this bloke.
Now, here's the unit. The three of us are going to kill this thing.
Oh, mate, he's gonna get it.
And then one day learn each other's names. And it is not this day.
You won't even need names. That's how tight this unit's going to be.
or you.
That's right. You'll all have hilarious nicknames for each other.
Why is my attack not rolling? I know how to play this game. Don't worry, it's only been 4 years. Here we go. That's embarrassing.
14
Or
is
is it?
not enough, I'm afraid, as you...
It is embarrassing.
It is very embarrassing.
I slept on some seaweed as I ran over here, but I'm ready to go again.
Fuck, someone save me.
There we go. That'll cave his skull in.
It certainly does. As you drudge across, your hand's still kind of a little bit warm from the heat of the tankard. The skull of this guy's friend sort of dangling and bobbing at your hip. You just march up the bank of this river. And the first one doesn't connect. He's able to kind of duck out of the way. But as he rises up, you just bonk on the head and he sort of crumples like a sack of potatoes.
Excellent.
And all that is left is sort of the sound of the flowing river and, of course, the insects and perhaps the slap of Gronk hitting a mosquito. The silence, and as the three of you kind of look at each other knowingly, proud of the good work you've done today, you hear from across the river, "Hey guys, you gonna help me get across?"
We forgot Saudade.
Nah, don't worry, I've got it. And like he just sort of runs like
Across the
Jedi,
water?
like, pretty much like across the water with his bajillion speed, stepping off like the Kegasus who's still like in the water, using him as kind of like a lily pad, and kind of just lands gently on the far river and goes, well, those lizard guys, I had to fight like 5 of them back there. How many did you guys get? 5 between you? Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Loeb just sits down in like a bloody mess.
Can you heal yourself? As I slowly pat her on the head, like we can't help you.
Keg kneels down to the one whose skull he clobbered and begins to rip his skull out of his lizard face with the blood and the gristle pouring off it, and holds it out to Loam. He goes, "There you go."
She like 100% takes it and puts it in like this bag she's got like on her belt. Like the whole thing, yeah. And then I think I'm gonna cast Healing Word on myself and the owl's fine, right?
Yeah, the owl's pretty much healed.
I'll just cast it at... Oh no, I'm like really dead. We're still going through a forest, right? I'm just gonna do 4th level Healing Word on myself. $15.
All right, yeah, absolutely. So you say sort of a little prayer to yourself. What do you say?
A little prayer for you.
It's hard work, Dark Maiden, but I'm doing it. As I'm just kind of like dabbing the blood off, like muttering to myself.
Blood gets blood out. Gronk nods approvingly.
I like take from the pouch the blood of the like skull you've just like given to me and just like wipe it.
One of us.
Everything will be fine.
Welcome to the savagery.
Still muttering like.
Excellent. So you're on the other side of the river now, having followed the cool vibes that Keg gave for his travels. And Keg, the vibes are telling you, yep, all good, keep going.
All's well. I don't see anything that's gone wrong. We needed a warm up for the day.
I don't trust the vibes anymore.
You'll get used to it.
They're good vibes. You got to put out good vibes to feel good vibes.
Everyone's alive. We all gained some XP. We've all got.
I didn't even get hurt.
Yeah, everything's good.
How did I take the most damage? So dumb.
Because like our last healer, you play like a tank. No, you don't. You actually do. You do a lot better. No offense, Alex.
All the offense, Alex.
He was DPS. He didn't play cleric as a fucking healer. He played as DPS.
It's true. It's true.
Cool. So you keep heading through the swamp, the marshes,
Yes.
and make your way eventually, sort of after a couple of hours, make your way to.
Like Loam also jumps on the owl and just does like a quick circle to make sure we're heading in the right direction. I totally trust the vibes.
Daniel, these mushrooms, do they have any sort of brewing capacity?
You've
You can
heard
drop them and eat them as chips.
you've heard stories of the deep gnomes making mushroom gin.
And
And
I would like to harvest some.
Absolutely, and you're pretty sure if you get the right mushrooms, it's got a bit of a like absinthe kind of effect, where like the alcohol can be incredibly strong, and there's also maybe minor hallucinogenic qualities too.
God, sounds horrible. Yes, let's try and harvest some of these.
All right, give me a nature check.
Let's use some inspiration to harvest some of these. That's better.
That's better. Yeah. You probably have you harvest a bunch. Does it go in like? Does Cake have a bag?
He's got a brewer's kit.
got a brewer's kit.
Yeah, which is like it's a portable brewery that he carries with him in a satchel. So it looks on the outside looks like an Indiana Jones adventurous satchel, but on the inside it's very Harry Potter-esque, where like you pop it open and there's like a miniature brewing kit in there.
Yeah,
With,
it's like a mini
distillery and
keg
whatnot.
that's actually a backpack, but he hides the fact that it's a keg on a keg.
Exactly.
Because that'd be weird.
Exactly. And so thus we're going to stick with it.
Yeah. It's very self-conscious, our keg. Just of that though, like nothing else.
So he feeds that little keg the mushroom cuttings, and that little keg gets to work.
Cool. You put it in there. You reckon you've got a good sampling of these mushroom flakes, this myconid flesh, and you pour some different solvents and things like that in there as well to kind of kickstart the process, seal it all up. Maybe sprinkle a bit of sugar in there, and it starts getting to work.
Bit of lemon.
Yeah. Bit of lizard blood gets in because you can't.
I was going to say, can I tap the blood off the wizard lizard skull?
Yeah,
Put it with the
The wizard lizard.
Wizard lizard blood goes great in a cocktail. Everybody knows this.
If this drink isn't called the wizard lizard, I'm going to be upset.
I feel like wild mushrooms mixed with wizard lizard blood, and it's got to make something beautiful.
Yeah, 100%. The only downside is not to this action, just in general. Despite all the revenge you've gotten and so on, like your current tankard of ale, like it's just warm beer now, you know, and it's like I gotta finish it before I pour myself another one, but it's I'm just gonna have to grit my teeth and power through this.
Look, for great reward, one must take great risk. So I will drink this warm ale.
Cool. All right. You head through Loam, completely trusting the vibe and trusting the group. You fly up into the air and do a bit of a scout around. Give me a perception check.
10.
Um,
I'm also just feeling the vibes.
yeah, you kind of get up there, and then you realize, like, oh, yeah, it's kind of in the right direction, I guess. You don't really kind of look for anything else. You can see Starsong Hill kind of in the distance. And after another hour or two of traveling through the forest, you're able to get there. Where are we?
Nice.
We're alone. And to go back and let's describe this beautiful place. It looks very different. I think last time you would have seen it was at night when you were doing the funeral processions and things like that. Starsong Hill is a mound of dry land surrounded by a thick grove of trees. The hill only rises sort of 20 feet from the surface of the surrounding wetlands, but each of the trees have like wooden shelters built in them on the ground and in the branches themselves. As you approach, you don't see much activity as it is during the day. But Loam, you kind of swoop in closer, and they get a look at you, and sort of horns call out and open the gates, allowing the more legged versions of the fancy lads to make their way into the encampment. If you remember, you met here. Sort of the loner, the hunter, Kiliar Arrowswift with his super edgelord name, Celia Starsinger, the old wise woman, and Trelara Nightshadow, the kind of the bard who lost her brother.
Is Starsinger the one that we were chatting to about if you don't help us against the Red Hand, the whole forest will suffer together?
Yeah. So she was sort of like the old woman leader. If you remember, she also had like a big alligator inside her tent with her.
Cool. Can we make our way to her tent first?
Yeah, absolutely. So you make your way to the house of the speaker, passing by the Hall of the Ancestors, the temple of Corellon. Loam, you notice that in your time that you've been here, they've obviously got their big temple to Corellon, one of the elf gods, but they've allowed you to set up sort of a small kind of shrine just outside, off to the side, as Corellon and Illustre are family, I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
So
I guess I would have just to an area where there's a bit of like clearing in the trees.
Yeah. So yeah, just off to the side kind of thing. From my memory, Illustre is the daughter of Lolth and Corellon.
Oh, my mom. Cool. Oh, well, her mom. Yeah.
So Corellon is the father of Illustre, I guess, or it's a little bit ambiguous because Corellon's kind of gender fluid, and just kind of goes with the flow, just goes with the vibe, you know.
All about vibes in this crew.
Exactly. But the Keg, Gronk, and eventually Loam, you make your way into the deeper into the encampment. You can see the giant owls that are kind of sleeping in trees around you. The elves that let you in don't sort of escort you through the camp anymore. They kind of give you a nod, and there's a lot of like sort of a grim.
We give them a lizard head. They understand.
Yeah,
Not my head.
I have a head.
That's fermenting.
So you get led up sort of the rope course or the into one of the tree houses in one of the three large trees, and even during the day, this one kind of glows softly with a luminescence of its own, and this cozy looking tree house set above a large pool. Waiting inside as before is a wise looking and ancient elf, She's wearing sort of flowing golden and green robes. Her hair is braided around a complex headdress made of wicker and wood. And she and she kind of gestures to some nearby chairs as you enter, and says, "Strangers, friends, you have returned to us, and you found our cousin here. I trust that her aid was beneficial in your task."
Loam just goes over and sits by the alligator. You said crocodile.
Yeah, she's got like a big alligator crocodile thing.
He just sits so it and kind of.
Yeah, it kind of raises its head up like a dog, and you're able to just kind of like pat the scaly part in the middle of its head as it kind of opens its mouth as if in a smile, and kind of rubs against your hand.
Keg looks at the old woman and says, "Yes, the young apprentice did well. She shows a lot of promise."
And she says, "We saw our scouts reported that that the Black Dragon has left the town of Rhest. I understand."
Yeah. Now about that, you said we were going in to kill a dragon's brood, not kill a dragon. Those are two very distinct and different things.
She says, "Did you kill the dragon?
No.
Did you kill the dragon's brood?"
Yes.
So I was right. What a wise woman I am.
Gronk shuts up.
I in fact saw it in the pools of vision, and such is the way of visions, that I told you exactly what you needed to know, and you have accomplished it, and we are proud of you.
Does this mean you're going to come to war with us now?
Absolutely. When the time comes that we need to stand against the Orc invaders, you will have our finest warriors at your back.
Excellent. That's now.
And where will this battle take place?
Brindle.
I shall send a forward party to let Brindle know that we are coming.
Good. Can you let them know that we're coming too? They don't know who we are, but they'll work it out.
Very well.
Tell them that the fancy lads are coming to save them.
The fancy lads, indeed.
They'll know what that means.
Yeah. We're well known, renowned, if you would.
And we'll send our warriors, our archers, our hunters there to help the humans in their stand at Brindle. In the meantime, I would like to extend to you 3 of our hunting owls, as I imagine that you have other places to be and not much time to be in them. And that hopefully they can aid you in saving as many people as you can in the days to come before this final battle.
That's really, really nice of you. You know what? I'm going to forgive you for the dragon thing. You're cool, old lady. You get a lizard skull. Keg, you got a skull?
No. Thank you, but no. I promise I won't eat your owl.
You can trust him. He doesn't eat.
Just 2 days ago, we had grave news from our forward scouts, though. The Orc army has made it to Skull Gorge Bridge.
Yeah, they're further back than I thought they'd be.
That's good news.
This is going well. Yeah, no.
They'd be further.
This is going rather swimmingly.
We have time to clean up another dragon problem if you have.
Yeah, we can go and get some shit done.
She says, "Well, the town of Drellin's Ferry."
Oh no, they're fucked. No, they're fucked. We're not worried about them. They're dead.
They will come under attack soon.
Yeah,
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone should warn them.
Yes,
We did.
You
We
do
told
have a
them
lot of
not to-
owls
Yeah.
and a lot of people. Someone should warn them.
Mm.
You are wise.
Oh, you're right. I should just run the campaign for me and the elves. Leave the adventuring to not you.
Hey, we said we'll go and kill some dragons, not go fucking send a text message to a town, alright?
We'll defend Drellin's Ferry.
Alright, we'll go to Drell's Valley Tavern.
I mean, there was that pub in there that gave us free drinks, Keg, when you and I were just telling them shitty stories. So
Keg slams his tankard down on the ground and looks at Gronk and says, I demand that we help Drell's Ferry. This is very nice. Owl me! And he points at the old woman.
She says, perhaps if you head down there and let them know to evacuate or to perhaps hold the line, you can buy them time to get the people out of the town. And she looks at you, Keg, and says, or make sure that the city's alcohol does not fall into the hands of the orc menace.
A most noble task.
Because they traditionally, I understand, dilute their alcohol before drinking with all manner of things that just as a member of so closely tied with nature, I would just disagree with. They drop pennies in it and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah, Keg looks at Gronk and he goes, no, it's been hard to just train this one.
She says, is there any other information you can share or any other anything you came across as you assaulted the dragon's brood? Do you have any more inkling of their plans?
Mother, we have this phylactery. I'm wondering if are these the people that are these the wood elves? I don't know.
yes.
Yes. Okay. So I would just like procure the phylactery and ask, can your people cleanse this? Is there a ritual that we can?
She says, this I've not seen, or I've only heard tales of. You say it is a phylactery.
The clitoris.
I can. The clit is real. It's the female orgasm that's a myth.
Never been found.
This is an artifact to that tale.
Yeah, it once existed, but was lost to mankind as it was ignored.
We called the wrong name.
We built this thing to remember it by. Just as confusing as the orgasm itself.
She says the evil magic that I sense from this is one of blight and nature corrupted. The tales we now tell to our young of the Ghost Lord. I was there. I was a child myself back when years ago there were nomad tribes of druids who dwelt in the verdant plains to the south of Rhest, to the south of the Elsia Vale. And these nomads were said to have built a massive lion of stone in honor of this great druid who taught them the ways of the lion and how to live at peace with these proud creatures. Yet when dark times fell on Rhest, their shadow also fell upon the lion's plains. It began when nobles visiting from Nerath arrived in the region. The nomads befriended the nobles, but were betrayed by them when the visitors hunted down and killed a lion monarch for his pelt and claws to go to their king, their would-be emperor. The nomads reacted with violence, slaying the visiting nobles to a man. And Nerath answered in kind, and its army marched against the southern plains. The disorganized nomads stood little chance against the might of the Nerath army, and the tribes were slaughtered, despite the fact that even the lions rose to defend them. The warriors of Nerath confronted and slew the druid between the paws of his own massive stone shrine. But the night after the warriors returned to their city, doom came to Rhest. Ghost lions prowled the streets, stalking and killing anyone they came across. When the dawn came, the entirety of Rhest's cavalry, including families, servants, and squires, lay dead. Rhest never recovered from this night of terror, and some say neither did the Nerath Empire. This marked the beginning of the decline of that once proud nation. In the years since, the once verdant hills to the south have grown horrid and tangled. The thorn waste is all that remains. And it's said that those who venture too close into those thorns, into that bleak part of Elsie Vale, can still hear the roars of lions on the wind, and the voice of a druid cursing the Nerath Empire to dust.
God damn.
Yeah. We should go there.
We should definitely go there.
We need to go there and do something about those thorns.
I want to fight a ghost lion.
She says, this artifact you have here, if it is indeed this druid's phylactery, it is an item of great power. And I'm confused as to why you found it in the care of a dragon, perhaps. It doesn't matter, but for you young'uns who may not know of this old and forbidden magic, a phylactery is where a lich, an undead sort of sorcerer, can store their soul away, or a piece of their soul. So that if their physical body is ever destroyed, they can reconstitute themselves near the phylactery, or at the phylactery. It is powered by the souls of the living. Sacrificed beings power this thing. It is an item of great evil. Now, if you give us over the next day or two, we could put together a ritual that would perhaps let us weaken and destroy this thing, and leaving the lich vulnerable to being destroyed for good. The only downside is that he, during that time, would be very aware that you're after, that you have a piece of him and a trying, and would successfully destroy it. And you would gain the unending ire of this creature until you're able to destroy it. Until you're able to find his physical body, what remains of this lion druid, and slay him.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Well, yeah, you can have 2 days to perform your ritual. I mean, defend Drellenshire for 2 days, come back, smash a phylactery, kill the lich, done. Home in time to have it win a war in Brindle.
Clear up some vines when we're done.
Yeah.
Save an empire. I mean, it wasn't even Nerath's fault, really. From what I gathered from that story.
No, from what I heard, they were entirely innocent.
Nerath did nothing wrong. Hashtag Nerath did nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. Seems like they were trying to clear up an area of a particularly prickly druid.
Sounds like some people should, reinstate that empire, take some form of, monetary income as some form of a tax.
Well, we can suss out the details later. What's important is the lynch needs to die.
Yep.
Yes, the David Lynch needs to die.
Yes. We're going to lynch the leech. Lynch the lynch. Lynch the leech. Whatever. He's going to die.
Yeah. All right. She says, very, very well. Then I shall begin looking for the pieces we need to start the ritual. And if you head to Drellin's Ferry, it should only be a sort of a day's journey on the back of an owl, and help them evacuate, start them moving, sending word to the other towns that this invasion is coming, and then return here. We will be able to, with your help, destroy this evil omen, this bauble of death and undeath and decay, and then perhaps we can send you into the Thorn Waste to finish the job and stop this undead threat.
And restore order to the world.
Indeed.
I love it. Let's owl up.
All right. Do you want to hang out and have a short rest, or do anything while you're in town? Any provisions?
I mean, can I go and... Is there like a... I should have a marketplace or somewhere where they're going to have a trader.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can I go?
Do they have a pub, canteen, brewer, priest?
Yeah, they've probably got... in Coralon's temple, I think Coralon's all about partying. I think they're all about it. So there's not a lot of action going on in the middle of the day as you know, the sun climbs high. These wood elves are kind of semi-nocturnal. You know, they party with owls and stuff. So it's really, in fact, actually, you come in during happy hour because they're really trying to drum up some people to come in during the off times, right?
Oh man, I want some roadies anyway because I smashed through my entire supply.
So it's some 2-for-1s. Gronk, you sort of head into the. They don't necessarily have a marketplace. This seems to be more like a hippie collective tribe kind of thing.
Yep.
They're not really selling each other stuff, but
Right.
you're able to find some artisans and some and some woodworkers and some metal workers and stuff. Who
Do they have like an apothecary?
Sure. Yeah. You can find an apothecary. What are you after?
Maybe some healing potions, maybe some diamonds. Someone's gonna die.
Okay. Let me see.
We got cash, is what I'm saying. We got. Actually, you know what? I actually have one half of the Fantasy Bunnings gift card. Is there a tent pole nearby? I haven't been to Bunnings since the guys fucked it up, so I'd like to see what's going on at Bunnings. We haven't been to Bunnings in ages.
I am about that.
Yeah, let's go to Bunnings. We got cash.
All right. This is going to be an experience for Loam, I guess.
Yes.
So you find a sort of an empty tent that seems to be just someone's tent, and you head inside and close the flap, and pull out your Fantasy Bunnings membership
Craig
card.
comes.
Is that right?
Craig comes. Craig sees the look of glee on Gronk's face. He knows what's going on and follows along.
And Loam, I assume you go with?
Yeah, so Loam was like about to just kind of head off and go sleep, but then kind of seen some like mischievous glint and is now kind of really interested and kind of just along behind, I guess. Yeah.
I think we're going to pull up on our house. We're like, come on, bitch, we're going shopping.
It's picking up his vibes now. Yeah.
All right. So do you remember what you have to do to activate the Fantasy
Pay
Bunnings?
50 gold. Yep, got to stick the card onto a doorway or a signpost.
Yeah.
And pay $50, and it opens a teleporter.
Okay. You also have to sing the theme song.
Oh, Fantasy Costco, where dreams come alive.
Yeah, pretty much. Except Bunnings, but sure.
So happy you remembered
Fantasy
that.
Bunnings, where all your dreams come true. Got a deal
That's
for
it.
you.
Very good.
When you open the tent flap, you feel sort of a shift and a pop in your ears as the atmosphere changes, and you smell the smell of cooking sausages.
Excellent.
Excellent. Just how it all began
Oh.
last time.
Oh, you actually have a fantasy book. Oh, the fuck is this?
Fucking cloak.
Oh, yeah.
Did you draw? When did you
This
do
was here
this?
last time and we set it on fire.
Yeah, I drew it last
No,
time.
I wasn't here for that. I wasn't here for that
Oh,
session.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see looming above you the big square box that is Fantasy Bunnings, and it's beautiful green colours. At the front is the small barbecue tent with looks like some young children and gnomes running a barbecue out the front, collecting all money going to a local sports ball club. Fantasy sports ball.
Yep.
Keg like takes like the tattered rags that go over his chainmail and just slits them over his nose and mouth just for safety and to hope that no one recognizes the walking keg as he begins to enter the Bunnings store.
Yeah. Thankfully, you've left Saudade behind, as I think he was part of the problem last time.
I think he was the main instigator of the problem.
You
Didn't he open up that magic deck of bullshit?
Yeah. In fact, Gronk, you notice what is new here, which wasn't here last time you were here.
Arm guards.
Parts of Fantasy Bunnings seems to be like some of it's got fresh paint, and weirdly,
Oh.
like some of it's been rebuilt. You also notice that there are now guard towers out the front and sort of like a checkpoint in front of the main doorway into Fantasy Bunnings. They seem to have upped security.
Must be all those
Strange.
orc raids.
Yeah, strange
Loam,
times.
this must all be very new for you. I don't know how much sort of dimension hopping and or did we talk about Sigil? Have we talked about? Was it you? Maybe I was talking to someone else about Sigil. Never mind. Don't worry. The City of Thousand Doors or whatever. No, okay. I'm just getting my people confused. Yeah, so you see this sort of. You've obviously undergone some kind of teleportation magic to get here. And in front of you, as you can imagine, is sort of a big car park. There's a number of... You see sort of the tent you've just come out of. And in other spaces, you see sort of like a wizard tower. You see what looks like a pub. Things like that in sort of arranged in rows out the front. And people are kind of coming out of the... in ones and twos. Coming out of these buildings or heading back into them. And then you see like one of the wizard towers parked next to you. There's sort of like a crack of thunder, and it disappears.
Awesome. Having appeared in like a completely different place that she's never been before, Loam is like really quick to like grab her big long cape and like wrap it completely around her. And her hand like goes into a pocket and she just pulls out her mask and like puts it on. Like her ears are covered, so like no one can tell if she's a dragon.
Cool.
She was very quick to cover up.
Ah, yeah, it's the pandemic. Gronk takes off his loincloth and puts it over his mouth. Safe. Sanitary.
Clean.
Cool. So you head into Fantasy Bunnings. You have to wait in the queue. While you're waiting in the queue, it seems to have been set up in such a way that while you're waiting in the queue, like the barbecue's right there. You know what I mean? Like, and you have to wait for just
I'm buying a sausage.
Okay,
No, I'm
yeah.
buying a sausage.
That's 2 gold.
How much?
2 gold.
It's done.
Yeah.
Easy.
I also
Sold.
2 gold.
Keg
Not
takes
even
a
a question.
sausage.
The
Loam
guy-
sausage?
The
Loam
guy says,
says,
excuse big fella, does this belong to you? He's taking a sausage. I'm going to need another 2 gold. Do you want onions with that? Onions on top?
Keg puts the sausage back.
Okay. He takes the sausage. Puts it back on the grill. I assume you just took a sausage, like you didn't even put bread on it.
Bread, just grab it.
He
Just
took
grab
a
the fucking...
sausage. And the guy goes, "Do you want onions?" We held out a sausage.
He looks up at the guy, or the sort of small gnome behind the barbecue, looks up at you, Gronk. How much gold are you giving him?
I gave him... I'm going to buy 3 sausages for me.
Mm-hmm.
Loam, do you want any sausages?
yes, please. Can I also have? I'll have one.
Only one? We have the money. We are rolling in dosh.
I'll have one.
Okay.
I love that we have a fucking mortgage and Brent is just like fucking sausages. Let's go hard.
Oh, Doug, we don't have a mortgage anymore. We are rolling in dosh.
Oh yeah, we're in the past now. Yeah, all right.
I'm here. No, we have a mortgage. I'm about to pay it off, and we're still rolling in dosh. It's half the reason I'm here.
Jesus, how did we get so low? Anyway, enjoy this.
Been very kind with the money and loot. So yeah, I'd like to go and find our good friend. Well, I'm guessing it's the lay-by office. So do I need to pay?
Yeah, oh, you got to go to the you got to go to that side area where like all the tradies pick up their shit.
Right.
That's where
I
there's
gotta
like
pay the tradie.
there's like a little cafe where just a bunch of really grisly dwarves sit around nursing espressos all day. And
there's no lines there because people don't ask fucking questions. They just buy their shit and get out.
and leave. In fact, sometimes they haven't even paid for the shit, and Saudade just helps them load up their ute with equipment, and they just drive off.
Yeah, mate, I had 10 tape measures when I came here, so don't worry about it.
All right. Yeah, so you find sort of the old timers area essentially, and among them is Keith Everbuild, the Foreman Keith, the dwarf you'd contracted to work on your place. And now remind me, because Dan does not have this written down, and I trust you completely, how much you had owed on this.
We owe 2,000 gold. It was 4,000 originally. We've paid off $2,000. We have $2,000 remaining.
Yeah.
Can I ask for?
Our pub.
Cool.
So these guys had cleared out an abandoned keep that was built on top of a portal to the Shadow Realm, and they decided, because some of the walls were still looking pretty good, and you know, Doug, the player, knows about walls. He was like, these ones are pretty sturdy. They decided to hire a contractor from Fantasy Bunnings to kind of build a tavern around in that area, and kind of not so much rebuild the keep, but build a tavern. And
we're getting there.
Called it the Castle on the Hill. And
we have employees,
Awesome.
which we pay noodles.
Yep, ramen. They get to
Ramen
survive.
noodles.
We have a few also indentured servants that we've captured. Oh, not captured. Convinced.
Just tiptoe around the S word, please.
Yep.
the prisoners with jobs.
The prisoners with jobs.
Prisoners with jobs. And in this day and age, lucky to have them.
Yeah. It's a pandemic.
Lot of wars out there.
You found though that whilst you feed them ramen / meagering 3/4 of the year, actually around just after Easter, you get a great deal on leftover hot cross buns that didn't sell properly, and you can just kind of feed them on that for a couple of weeks.
All right, so I'm going to pay off Keith.
Over to Keith Everbuild.
Yeah. So Keith sees you rock up, and he says, if it isn't the fancy lad himself, we finished work on your pub some time ago now.
Oh, yeah, you know, time. Wibbly wobbly.
We're outside of time and space, Keith. Why are you bringing it up?
He says, I thought I could charge you a little bit of extra interest, because I did hear what a story you boys got tangled up in a bit of a time heist. Is that right? You boys running around Waterdeep stealing millions, 500,000 gold dragons.
If we had 500,000 gold dragons, we would have paid you money, okay?
I must be getting my timelines confused.
Seriously though, we need an extension on that loan. We can't pay.
Well, like I said to my dear wife, the beard extensions make you look beautiful, my dear. And Gronk, I would be happy to give you an extension. It would look beautiful on you, and in fact would look even more beautiful on my pocket, because an extension is going to cost you an interest. And you know me, love a bit of interest. It's interesting. So let's say chuck on another 50%, and we can give you maybe another year.
Another year? I was thinking like another 1,000 years.
50%?
For a 1 year, like that pro rata rate's pretty high, mate. Like, you got to help me out here.
50%?
Well, how many years has this already been? I mean, we could be talking about past delinquent payments by now. You're lucky I'm not taking this to Garfield.
All right.
We're not heading back in time, Keith.
Convince ourselves not to pay you. Hi. All right, you've twisted my arm. I'll pay you off. Have you $2,000?
All right, he takes your 2,000 gold, and he says, "Now,
what's platinum to gold?
Shit.
Is it 10 platinum
Why'd you have
to 1 gold? Oh, is it 1 gold? No, 10 gold to 1 platinum. I think it is.
Nobody knows, mate. 5e platinum. 2 gold.
Oh, God, I love the economics of D&D. It's the fun stuff.
So 1 platinum is 1/10 of a gold.
Is a 10th of a what?
A platinum piece.
That doesn't sound right.
No, that doesn't
That's
sound right.
the other way around.
Oh, no, yeah, it's the other way around. Sorry. Yeah. So
yeah, 10 gold. Yeah,
10
cool.
gold.
Easy.
Yeah. Copper, silver,
Yep.
electrum, platinum. Gotcha.
Yeah, easy. How many silver to gold? I'm just going to convert everything to gold.
10. It's a 10 system.
Okay.
10
So
silver, 1
that's-
gold.
Yes, that's a 90. Easy. Maths, don't fail me now.
Electrum's weird because it's like 2
haven't got
gold
any.
pieces.
Yeah.
Maybe I've just avoided giving you that because it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, why would
That's
mixing silver and gold, which is electrum, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
be worth double the gold?
Yeah. All right, cool. Paid off Keith. Got some cash in the bank still. We're ready to rock.
Well, in
Can
fact,
we
he
add
says,
more to the build?
yeah, I mean, you beat him to it because he was like, oh, well, now that you've done the initial build, surely you want to add some extra rooms on that sucker. You want to go up, you want to go out, you want to go interdimensional. Like, we can do all sorts.
All right, keep talking, Keith.
1 minute, Keith. I want to turn around to Gronk. Gronk,
Mhm.
just hold my hand up, Keithy there. Just hang on, Keithy. What don't we just fucking build? What did we just paid for? Was it like a dining hall or just like a
No,
general?
that was the tavern. That was
just
that was
just the tavern.
just what we built. Yeah, just our.
So there's no overnight rooms.
I believe we have 2 upstairs rooms. Correct.
2 upstairs rooms.
Keith, do you end up doing 2 upstairs rooms for us? I thought that was the. I think it was 2
Yeah, I think-
rooms and
Yeah, I
then a
think that's
basement,
it.
like a cellar. And
Yeah,
then,
there's that basement cellar that you came out of, Keg.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we took the existing basement from the keep on the Shadowfell
Yeah.
and kind of retrofitted it. Yeah.
So yeah, we got 2 bedrooms. That's pretty much it. What else we got?
Okay. We need a way to bring patrons in and out easily from the town because we're a little bit away from Winter Haven, aren't we?
Yes.
So could we, in like a lot of video games, just thinking here, Dan, stop me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
In like a lot of video games, if you build like a place for the horse and carts to come, it sort of like allows for quick travel. You know what I mean? Allows for travel to happen better. So could we up the patronage by having
Like a
Like
A
station.
fast
station.
travel point. Yeah,
a
like
fast travel point, like a
a
station for caravaning?
caravanserai.
A
at the front of the thing.
caravanserai is what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say. A caravanserai.
You mean a caravanserai? Yes. So absolutely. So he can make a
CARAVNASRI?
caravanserai.
I'm gonna go with arsery.
So he's built you a keep, or part of a keep, the tavern part of a keep, right? Or he says, look, so I've built 1 room in the keep, off the existing part of the keep. And that's the tavern, which, according to me, or at least this book that I've been working off, Strongholds and Followers and Kingdoms and Warfare and stuff, is worth like 1 room point, and I think cost you... Because you paid some up front, right?
We paid a whole heap up front. It cost us $6,000 in total.
Yeah. So he says, if you want, I can restore part of the keep, and so it's full on castle walls, etc. That's probably going to set you back about 40,000 gold, and that's going to leave us plenty of space to expand. I'm talking stables. I'm talking caravanserai. Absolutely. You can have merchants showing up to peddle their wares in your own tavern. Get a percentage off them. Charge them for the privilege. A clock tower. Make sure everyone knows what time it is. But here's the best bit. we'll just actually turn the clock tower off. So everyone thinks they know what time it is, but they don't actually see the clock from inside the tavern, so they keep drinking and gambling, and they never want to leave.
We'll just pump in extra high energy oxygen.
That's
Really
right.
cool.
If you're planning on getting, I noticed that you have a new friend with you. I assume the old man died, and if he hasn't, he might soon. How about a catacombs? Got to store the dead bodies somewhere. Intern them there.
There are a lot of dead bodies.
So that maybe you can come back to them. The body's well preserved if you need to resurrect them. Big dining hall.
We're not trying to build fucking Winterfell here, all right? We just want a goddamn pub, mate. All right? So 40k to be able to build other things in the future
Well, 40k
is batshit crazy, Keith, all right? I don't want you to sell me a mansion when I just want to build a pub, okay?
Well, you've got the pub. I'm thinking you, my lord, my young lord, are going to want a military establishment. Because what if people come try and take your pub? You're going to have to defend it. You know what you're going to want? You got those thick walls, they're already there. Look, I'll knock an extra... Look, it's cut my own throat, but I'll knock an extra 10k off the price.
Keith, you know we're in a Bunnings, right? There are other builders here.
Yeah, but we're all union, mate. It's all the same price.
You know, there are some builders here that look like they speak a different language, and perhaps... Gronk, what do you reckon? This sounds a bit grandiose to me.
We're 40 grand's a bit of an ask there, Keith. Like we're rolling in dosh, but we're not rolling in dosh.
We're not trying to build a town. Okay,
we could do it.
How much for the caravanserai? All right,
We could do it in
town plan aside.
Yeah. We could do it in installments, lads. So instead of dropping the big money on the keep itself, each room we build will kind of add to the overall structure. It's going to be a bit of a mishmash because you didn't plan it from the beginning. It's going to be a bit of a hodgepodge. It's probably going to look fugly at the end. And we're going to have to go back in and start inserting like plumbing and shit after the fact because you didn't ask for it up front. But look, Keith ever build can ever make it happen. So caravanserai, probably looking at another, I'm going to say, what, the pub costs you 6. You've already got, or 6 up front plus 2, right?
No, it was 2 up front and then 2 repayments of 2.
Oh, okay, right. He says, well, look, I could do you the caravanserai because you're an existing customer. You're coming back, loyalty bonuses. And he pulls out a little abacus and starts like click, 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 click. He says, caravanserai, you got a lot of the existing walls already there. Let's call it 4,000 gold.
4,000 gold?
Yeah, so that's going to be area caravanserai, small roadside house for travelers filled with some cooked food and things like that. You'll be able to have sort of an outdoor eating area. Food and pack animals can hang out there. Visiting merchants will be able to set up and bark their wares, enticing locals to turn up. Alternatively, I could probably do you a similar price, but for some stables, which will just be more sort of a coach yard, getting people to and from the place. Caravanserai is more like an outdoor seating South Melbourne market kind of feel. Whereas the stables is more like your light rail.
Go for the Vansery.
We'll pay you the $4,000.
Okay.
No.
We'll get working on that. Caravanserai, let me just let's get Dan to put that in his notes.
Brent, take it. All right, we're no longer utterly rolling in dosh.
Yeah, but we are collecting taxes once the caravanserai is done.
Yep.
And no one will ever stop us again from just walking up and grabbing a sausage, because it'll be our goddamn land. Our goddamn sausages. We're the landlords.
Cool. Now, if you have any other money, there is...
We have a little bit more money.
Okay. So there's obviously other great items for sale at Fantasy Bunnings, where all your dreams come true. There are potions of healing, potions of greater healing. Let me just find the prices on all these. Potions of healing set you back 250 gold.
Let's go 3 potions of healing.
Oh wait, sorry. Strike that. Greater healing. Sorry, greater healing is 250 gold. Regular healing is 50 gold.
We'll take 3 greater healings, thank you.
Okay.
Good idea. We are going to a literal war.
Yeah. How do I edit this new consumable? Where are you? Middle mouse to edit. Odd.
Can Lauren just wander up around the back and she's looking for weird things?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You are in the right place.
So you wander around. You stop in an aisle, and one thing takes your fancy, or grabs your eye. It's a microfiber hand towel. As a bonus action, you can wipe off your sweaty palms during combat. Doing so gives you a +1 to hit and a +1 damage on your next attack. But you've got to roll a d6. On a 1 and 2, the microfiber hand towel is too wet to use until tomorrow. There is the Extreme Team Bible, which is a +1 holy symbol that contains a cover. The cover features a rad skateboarding dwarf and allows the user to easily spread the good word of your deity. Gives you +1 on spell attacks that are from your faith. There's also cool mint tablets where there's 3 of them in a tin for 800 gold. On eating it, you can cast Ice Breath once, and you get you feel really minty fresh for days afterwards. What else we got? There's the Ring of Recall, a small ring that allows the spellcaster wearing it to regain a spell slot after having failed in casting a spell once per day.
What can we buy for 200 gold? We just spent 6 grand. We just spent 6 grand.
There is a fine straw hat that, while wearing it, the user knows the location of the nearest alcoholic beverage within 100 feet. You can
How much
get
is that?
That's 200. That's 200 gold.
Okay, do you want a hat?
Keg would love a hat.
Have a hat.
Keg would love a big straw Bunnings hat.
You put the giant straw Bunnings hat on. It's got it's got a scratched out logo that says Arco Ill on top of it, and you instantly can detect that there's alcohol right underneath the hat.
Great.
So
Great. I'm gonna have to train this Superman's vision to ignore that feeling and start sussing out the rest, aren't I?
Potentially.
Okay, great.
There's also the Ring of Pointing, which is a copper ring with an inlaid ruby that can project a small visible dot onto any surface. It's a great way of entertaining cats.
Very bad for their brain.
Lauren, welcome to the party. Have
Oh, yeah.
$8. Buy what you like. I spent the rest.
This is your commission for not dying.
Yep, and for helping us. You get 8 gold pieces.
8 gold pieces.
Did any of you get, or did I have enough foresight to give any of you a Fantasy Goshapon token?
Nope.
For a long time.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
I've only ever had one.
I'm going to retcon
Oh,
and
two.
say you probably got one from the Dragon's Hoard, right? That sounds like a place that there would have been one.
That's fair.
So,
Well, I think Lauren's never had one, has she?
No, yeah.
Sounds like you get to have the best experience at Fantasy Bunnings. And no, it's not having a deal with Garfield the Deals Warlock. It's Fantasy Goshapon.
so he gives you this sort of metal token that's got a skull on it and lines and spikes. It looks kind of like the Aztec gold from Pirates of the Caribbean. And these two lead you to kind of a back room where there's sort of a gnome with spectacles and a big ledger, and says, "Oh, welcome, more people for the churn. Please, is this your first time?"
Yeah.
Very exciting. First time with the fantasy Goshapon. Now, see here, you want to put put the token just in the little slot there, and there's. Oh well, no. If you want to, you
But
want to put the token in, and you turn the handle, and you'll get a prize.
what kind of prize? This coin is cool.
It is coming up rather creepy.
Yes, it is rather cool. However, inside it is trapped at least a wizard soul, possibly even something greater. But you cash them in here at Fantasy Bunnings and receive magic items from the gods.
Puts the coin in the slot.
And now you'll just need to put your hand on the handle there. I mean, if I put my hand on the handle and I turned it, then the item would be for me, wouldn't it? We don't want that. So if you could just, put your hand on the handle there and turn it clockwise. No, clockwise. Yep, great. And you hear this like, ka-chung, 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 and like the balls, they're these sort of like plastic egg balls in the upper chamber kind of move around a bit. And one falls into the hopper and kind of starts going down the little ramp. And after a moment or two, there's a thing there. Now, if I can get you to roll a d20 for me, please. Just a straight up d20.
Whoa. Did I do it? No.
Yep, I got 5. Okay, cool. Bear with me.
Oh.
It's not the size of the number is not. It's how you use it. Okay, it's okay. So the ball, the sort of plastic or metal ball, glass ball, kind of rolls down. Half of it's kind of see through, half of it's opaque, and you pull it out and kind of turn it and pop it open, and inside is a vial, sort of like a crystal vial, and inside you can see sort of this glowing silvery blue liquid. And he says, "Oh, very exciting. That's the let's see here." And he rushes back over to his book, starts sort of flipping through pages, and he says, this is the water of the moon well. If you drink this, it restores health. And if the drinker has threatened the balance of nature since the last full moon, it instead turns to poison in their mouth. And only once per day, and it will refill itself. Was the full moon drinking the water? So it refills itself at midnight, and the drinking the waters of the moonwell on a full moon can have extremely empowering effects.
What kind of powering effect?
It trails off here because Dan hasn't written enough about this item to really plan that far ahead.
You know the best way to find out what kind of effects it has, though.
What's the moon at the moment? I guess it's daytime. Oh.
I think this thing... Can this thing tell me the weather? Apparently it's 9 degrees and heavy rain today. But it doesn't tell me the phases of the moon. I will figure out a way for us to work out the phases of the moon, Kate, just for you.
Yeah, it's very.
I mean, I'm already tracking time just for Gronk and this invasion, so.
Sorry.
So this flask is almost like a regenerating healing potion. that will regenerate at midnight every night. It heals you, at this stage it's going to heal you 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier, and of course you can hand it to other people as well for them to drink from. At the moment it has one charge that regenerates at midnight, but as with a lot of these items I think we've given these boys in the past, they can certainly evolve as well.
Cool. Heck yeah, I just kind of slide it into my pocket.
Cool. And he says, "Oh, thank you for coming. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to see more souls come through these doors. If you find any more Fantasy Gashapon tokens, please don't hesitate to swing by. We're a glut for magic items here, I mean, Dan spent a lot of time rolling up an entire table, so he should really give you more tokens, probably. But
Please.
Yeah, we do enjoy them.
Cool. All right. So you start heading out. As you're heading out, you see obviously towards near the exit, because they've kind of restructured the place. That the entrance is no longer the same as the exit. It's sort of it's more IKEA-like in that you go in one way, you have to make your way through the entire place, being tempted by everything, and then on your way out, just as you're about to leave, near the exit is of course the deals counter. And you see behind the counter your old friend Garfield the Deals Warlock. And he says to you, Loam, as you walk up, he says, fresh young face, welcome to Fantasy Bunnings. My name is Garfield the Deals Warlock. How may I help you today? How may I serve you today?
Hi, my name's Loam. What is a deal?
A deal? Oh, gives me shivers just thinking about it. A deal is where you need something, perhaps I can provide it in some way, and we come to an arrangement on something perhaps that I need in return. Doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. It could be goods or services. In the past, we've accepted blood, souls, favors, promises, secrets, memories, all sorts. Essentially, you come to me with a deal in mind, and then I let you know what the terms could be. So you come to me with something that you want, and then I will sort of give you a price on what that is, and we can come to an agreement. I assume, like, after you've kind of already skipped up and you're sort of talking to this guy, Keg and Gronk, are you kind of hanging around behind, or have you kind of trying to avoid Garfield?
I'm avoiding Garfield like the fucking plague.
Staying well back.
That man is a fucking
back.
goddamn disaster waiting to happen.
Keg whispers to Gronk, should we help the new kid?
No, she needs to learn.
Yes, learn.
By this random dude, and I like lean in and I'm like, I want magical bow.
Her first mistake.
You'd like a magical bow, and what do you have to offer in return? Do you have any money?
No.
The simplest of deals.
You have 8 gold pieces.
Hot dog.
Unfortunately, we don't accept hot dogs as payment here at Fantasy Bunnings.
I pull from my bag the head of the lizard man.
He says, now, that is lovely, but I don't think that's going to cut it. But what we do have here is a powerful magical artifact, Tol Maril. And you know that in the language of the elves, Tol Maril means heart seeker. This, my friend, is the very bow that belonged to Catty Bree, the best friend of Drizzt Do'Urden, and actually passed to him upon her death. Remained with him for many, many years until he lost it in the Underdark, fighting against the Duergar and unknown horrors like Aboleths. It is said to be, and he kind of holds it up, it's this beautifully crafted elven longbow made of polished wood. He says, the elven craftsman who made this bow, so strong, even stone could not scratch the marvelous wood. And you can see here the deep finish of its polish can be returned by a single brush of the hand. And he says, when an arrow is fired from Heartseeker, it becomes a whistling streak of silver. Arrows launched from this bow can easily bury themselves halfway into stone. That's how strong the draw is. And yet, even for someone of your frame, I believe, would have no problem pulling this bow back. Do I have your attention?
No, I'm a lady of swords. Can I just kind of have a look around and see if I can see Keg and Gronk as well?
Sure. Give me a perception check. Keg, Gronk, I want you to give me stealth checks.
Certainly.
No problem.
I'm always super stealthy. I'm not a 7-foot behemoth.
Perceptive.
Who's currently naked, wearing a rag over his face.
Stealth.
I'm not a literal fucking keg.
Natty failed.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, no, it was Keg. It was Keg, not me.
Doesn't get much more of a fail than that. Keg
Um,
yells out, "It's okay, we're right behind you."
yeah. And Garfield says, "Oh, Keg, Gronk. And
Hello, Garfield.
I see that your friend Saudade is not here. How's the deck of cards?"
Killed him. Although, let's not kid ourselves, he was due for it.
It was a mercy killing, if anything.
Alas, I would know if he was dead. He did sign his soul to me.
There's no getting around you, Garfield, is there? So good to see you again.
Yeah, we've really missed these chats.
I mean, if you wanted to off him, I certainly couldn't stop you.
We'll stop you there, Garfield. We don't want to kill our friend.
We merely wanted to fake his death so you would leave us alone. Now we're having this really awkward conversation, so thanks.
And it's
I
like
tip
a
my
really
new
awkward
hat at
conversation that's being yelled across the floor of this.
Yeah.
We're not coming any closer, Garfield.
Is this a new friend of yours, a new compatriot? He sort of gestures to Loam.
Any deals that person makes, they're the sole responsibility of that person and not Fancy Lads Incorporated?
Never seen it before in my life, Garfield.
My friend!
Don't know what she's talking about, Garfield.
And how's dear Barnaby? I heard he was in Waterdeep.
Yeah, he's dead, Garfield. He died.
Yeah, he actually probably is dead.
We're all that's left of the Fantasy Lads, and we're doing very well over here on this side of the Bunnings. Thank you.
Well, he even if he is dead, he's probably a lingering spirit in Waterdeep then somewhere because he has unfinished business. And that unfinished business is a favor to me.
I believe you own part of his soul as well. Loom, are you seeing a pattern here?
I'm like inching away.
How connected to your soul do you feel?
I like my soul where it is, and I like.
You might want to come over this side of the line with us.
So this is metagame level. I thought you said before you wanted a bow, so obviously I described a bow to you. Was that not what you asked for?
Oh no, bones. Sorry, bones.
He said a boat, and I was just going to let him go with his bow. I was like, all right.
Heartseeker does sound awesome, by the way, if it wasn't coming from Garfield.
Yeah.
I was kind of looking at my goddess page as well, and she doesn't use bows, so I was like, no, I don't want a bow.
Let's see.
Looking for something for me.
Surely you don't have a magical bone in your list of things, Dan.
Mate, you'd be very surprised what I have.
How deep does that list go?
There's a joke.
Okay. So Garfield says we have two options here. depends what you're after. Here on one end for the more well-read individual, and he sort of hoists up on the counter a book, a tome. Its covers made of skin and the fittings of bone. Even at this distance, where you've taken a couple of steps back, the tome is cold to the touch, and even whispers faintly. And he says, "This tome has a number of rituals inside it, and could be even perhaps used as a spellcasting focus. This is the Librum of Souls and Flesh. A number of necromancy spells exist within. For the more, I see you yourself perhaps maybe not as book focused on books. You have quite the nice blade there. Perhaps over here," and he kind of hoists up and sort of clonks this ostentatious mining pick. It's got black, blue, green, red, and white gems carved in the form of dragon heads. And the rest of it looks like it's made of gold. He says, "This is the Will of the Talon. Inside is the spirit of a bone devil. And look, not going to lie to you, it's going to speak to you. It's going to talk to you. It's going to tell you to do things maybe you don't really want to do. But while wielding this ostentatious gold war pick, you'll be able to read and write Draconic and Infernal. You'll get +1 bonus to all attack rolls made with the magic weapon. And you can essentially scare people as if you're a dragon. Among some other things, as the weapon awakens, it might do some more things to you or to itself. It's all held in the terms and conditions, of course.
So, what do you want for the book? I'm like edging away from the.
What have you got?
Don't say your soul.
I do sense.
What
Sell other people's souls. It's way better.
If you're not. Look, you don't need to. These boys. I have never asked for a soul of anyone that they know. Their friend came and offered me a soul for the most powerful thing I could give him, which was 3 pulls on the deck of many things.
To be fair, that is it. He did ask for that. Yes.
I never asked to have his soul. He came up to this counter and demanded the best item he could get for his soul. And I gave it to him. In fact, I think he pulled one of the cards while he was here in the store, and we had to repair the place a lot. Which he will be held accountable for, but I've got all of eternity, so I don't mind. I'm very patient.
Okay. Can I use
but if you don't... I mean, I sense about you, and please excuse me for prying, but I sense a soul in your bag. In fact, a great collection of souls. Do I detect a phylactery?
Oh. I thought the old lady had it.
I don't know.
I think you still have it. She's like preparing the ritual. So, but
Okay.
like, I don't think she was willing to hold on to it. Right? That's a huge risk.
And I just kind of like grab my bag and I'm like, these are my souls. I'm holding them.
You got enough goddamn souls back there, mate.
She's a witch.
They're mine.
But one piece of powerful necromancy for another, I feel would be a very fair trade.
How about, and I am gonna cast that Moondance blade, so that this like blade of like darkness just appears in my hand, and I'm gonna try and give it to him as if it's like a real thing.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna like dangle it in front of him and be like, how about this like magical blade of smoke that comes back to you when you call it?
Give me a deception check here. Do you let him touch it?
No, it's late because I'm still a few feet back from the counter,
Sure.
and I'm just kind of dangling.
We're social distancing.
Oh, roll a 5.
He is not. He says, Nice try, young cleric. But I know a dancing shadow blade spell when I see one. And he points up to a sign that says, like, we will not accept illusionary currency, fairy gold, pixie dust. Like, he does this whole list of shit that they won't accept because likely it'll turn into smoke in the morning.
Okay. Well, I have nothing for you, officer, and I'm just going to walk away, but I'm just kind of sneaking glances at the cool book that I really touched.
Cool. What else we got? The other two lads?
When Loom gets close enough to me and Gronk, we both grab her by one arm each.
And fucking escape.
Just fucking go.
Fucking out of here.
And I'm like,
Okay, rule number 1 of the Fancy Lads. Don't talk to Garfield. Pretty sure we've given you a rule 1 before. This is the new rule 1.
she writes it down in this little notebook of rules that she's keeping. Rule number 6, don't talk to Garfield.
Rule number 1.6. They're all equally as important.
Yeah, they're all important.
All right.
Yes.
You head back to the tent, and I lost Gronk in somewhere. There we go. And make your way back to the Starsong Hill, unless you had any further spending to do.
Now we're broke.
I did want to go to the temple.
In Starsong Hill?
Yes, please.
Yeah, cool. Pull that up. So you make your way back to, and you sort of pop out of the tent, or you go back into your tent that's in the car park, close it, take your Fantasy Bunnings voucher off the door, off the flap. You feel kind of a pop again, sort of the taste of tin in your mouth, and when you open it again, you're back in the forest with all its regular natural smells, and it's sort of 1 in the afternoon.
I'm gonna go sleep for the rest of the
So you're heading to the Temple of Corellon. Inside, you see there's sort of a small statue carved of wood of this kind of elven figure wielding a long sword and a longbow. And they have these very androgynous kind of features. There's even some sort of some tapestries and things like that are hung up, and it tells the story of how Corellon fought Grumsh and cut out his eye. Sort of like when you go into a church and you see like the pictures of Christ doing his thing, right? There's the different tapestries of Corellon tricking Grumsh, and then in their ensuing fight, cutting out Grumsh's eye. And there's also a tapestry of Corellon casting out the Dark Elves and casting out the Drow into darkness. Specifically as well, the main one shown in figure is a Dark Elf, and it's do you read Elvish, Kirk?
I don't think so. Dwarvish and Common.
No. So yeah, you can't sort of read any of the symbols and stuff like that around or under them, unless I don't know if Loam's gone with you or anything like that. But no, not a Corellon fan.
She's sleeping.
Okay.
Not a day thing.
Yeah, the sort of depicting the story of Corellon casting out a bunch of dark-skinned elves into the Underdark, having been and he's and they're Corellon they're crying as they do so, as if doing this has sort of pained them greatly.
Cool. Keg wants to train his new hat sensing abilities because he assumes that he can see the offerings on the altar.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to concentrate his energy into just feeling the new hat, giving him the vibes, and sort of ignoring himself.
Yeah. Empty thyself of. Yeah.
So I don't know if that needs a roll or if that's just sort of natural training.
I think let's do a religion check, because this is Keg literally getting in touch with his spirit and being able to see past the power of his divine spirit that is within him, and he does kind of an excellent job. So you're able to kind of filter out the inherent alcohol around you, Keg, and as you know, as you get closer, it becomes easier to determine the difference between the two. And we'll say that at this rate, you're able to determine alcohol within 20 feet of you, the closest source of alcohol within 20 feet of you now.
Love it. Is there a priest of Carlong in here, or am I sort of alone in the temple?
There is... Sure. There can be if you want one. I'm just trying to find. This temple is made of wood shaped from the trunk and branches of a large squat tree. The 10-foot tall statue of Coralon hanging out in the center. So there's a cleric comes out of a small tent at the tree's base and kind of comes over to you and says, "What can I help you, my cousin?"
Keg speaks to him and says, "Hello, my name is Keg. I was getting very positive vibes from this place, and I just wanted to take a knee at your tree and praise the gods here and share with you some of my brewing recipes in the hopes to get some of your brewing recipes off you before we part ways to go defend the town of Brindle is the town's name."
The cleric says, "My name is Ilian. I would be honored to pray with you. I believe you were the messenger of the forest, the living embodiment of nature that had come here, sent to us as a sign of Coralon's great knowledge and wisdom."
Yeah, I am, but I assume Jesus didn't go around rubbing everyone's face in it that he was the son of God. He was just a regular carpenter, So just treat me as a regular Keg. But I am Jesus, so do share with me your prayers.
Cool. The cleric says, "Of course," and sort of kneels down and says, "Lord and Lady Coralon, we offer up unto you these prayers. We remember in this time the place of Ysgard, where we all came from. From your tears we were born. The war of the Seldarin, and our ever war and ever vigilance against the Orc invaders. May we always walk in your light under the dappled sun of the growing forest, and drink in your memory of love and life, and beauty." And you notice that this cleric, as they're talking, the robes sort of glow a little bit more silvery, and have this kind of bright blue aura about them. And you hand them some of your drink. Is that right?
Yeah, so I'm going to share with them. I reach out and write down on a piece of parchment the recipe to the Yggdrasil hard root beer, rich and creamy treat, smooth and balanced, earthly feel. The more connected you are to the earth, enemies are unable to be moved, and their skin gets harder and more resilient. So it's a strength beer. So I share with them the recipe of that.
And forgive me, Dan, if I'm incorrect. And look, maybe we got to go watch the video. But didn't you learn that from these elves?
Oh shit! I was like, these guys will love this recipe.
I'm almost certain that these elves taught you that recipe.
great. That's great. Okay.
I mean, to Doug,
God
that was like 2 or
damn.
3 months ago. To Keg, that was 2 days ago.
That was yesterday. God damn it. I'm going to share with them the recipe of Champagne de l'Estompe, a recipe that Keg holds very close to his heart.
Yeah. From the old ancient Nerath wineries.
That's it. No one can brew it because they don't have the ingredients anymore. But hey, it's a good recipe to have on the books.
But you offer the knowledge, yeah. And the cleric says, this is very beautiful, and perhaps we are missing some of these ingredients. I notice it says here you need a bright green emerald gem of magic of unknown origin. I don't believe we
It's hard to
have
find
one of
them.
those.
No one knows where the origin is.
Yeah. They say, well, I'd be happy to share with you another one of our recipes. As I see in your book, you already have the Yggdrasil root beer, and you're really shaking down.
Can't believe that came from here.
And you're really shaking down this this DM looking for more stuff. But as you know, Doug, I have a table of over 100 types of alcohol. So please roll me a D100.
Love it. What a good way to weasel out of this mistake that I've caused. Oh, these rolls.
Fitty.
Phenomenal rolls tonight.
The old fitty. Okay. The elf says, now Corellon passed this ancient recipe onto us, and it is usually used for going into battle, becoming an aggressive force, a charismatic force, and it's sort of a musty kind of oakish flavor. He actually brings some out to let you try some. And it's sort of a musty oakish odor and flavor, very obviously wooden. He serves the cleric serves it in sort of these wooden tankards, and he says this is brewed with only the finest forest barley, and it's this kind of nut brown color. And he says with oak nuts, just a little hint of acorns, and as you drink it, you can feel yourself getting more intimidating and more persuasive. But you can also feel yourself getting dumber.
Please don't do that to me, Dan.
So you have, after drinking this, this elven draft. Let's call it the Corellon draft.
And after drinking it, I thank him and I say to him, I would like to share a recipe with you. And I recite back the exact same brew that he's just given me.
So this is the Corellon draft. I put it in the chat. This gives you advantage on intimidation and persuasion, but you get disadvantage on intelligence checks.
No problem. No problem. In the chat.
Intimidation, persuasion. For D. 1 plus, let's do 1 plus D4 hours. Advantage. Intelligence. Checks. For at the same time. So there you go. Advantage on intimidation and persuasion checks for 1 plus D4 hours. so minimum 1 hour, and then you get disadvantage on intelligence checks during that same time.
Love it. Thank you very much.
Let me just highlight that on my table of over 100 drinks.
Working through them slowly.
Yeah, man. I love it. Cool. Well, I think we'll wrap up in a few minutes as sort of the evening or sort of the afternoon wears on. Unless there was other things you wanted to cover, Gronk, now that you're back from Fantasy Bunnings.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Loam's gone into to have a bit of a rest as the hours passed and you get into dusk when the camp starts to come more alive and the owls awaken. Loam, it's at a more reasonable kind of light. The skies are clear. It's a little bit cold at 10 degrees apparently, but apart from that, I can add moon cycles in here. Fuck yeah! All right, we're doing that in my next prep. And you're told that it's sort of a day and a half's flight down to Drellin's Ferry, and then probably another day and a half from there to the Thorn Waste if you wanted to continue on. But your first mission would be to head to Drellin's Ferry to warn the people there of the impending attack.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. Love it.
Cool. You fly
Productive loot session.
Yeah, you fly through the night, zipping over trees and whatnot. You can actually see on the horizon to the west, across the Lake Rhest, as the lake gets sort of narrower and turns into more rivers, you can kind of just make out the Rocky Mountains of the Wormsmoke Mountains, and you can see many, many torches and lights cutting through the darkness of a massive army. It's just like a sea of torches, fires, and campfires and whatnot marching along the passes, making their way across the bridge and into the Witchwood.
Keg turns to Loam and says, I didn't know your elder would send so many allies. That's good to know.
She is a wise woman.
Loam, you know that's not the elves, that's an orc army.
Yeah, I hope she's sent enough to combat this. It's just us so far, right?
And that's where we'll leave it tonight with the four lads, or the three lads plus Loam on their giant owls, flying over the treetops, dipping in and out as they race to Drellin's Ferry to beat the hordes of Obuld Many Arrows army, and hopefully rescue some people. I don't know.
Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Or burn the town down.
Yeah, one or two.
Anything can happen.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
dude.
you very much, Dan.
It was fun as fuck. Fun
awesome
to be back. Yeah.
We'll try and organise to continue again next week. Shaun says he's got rugby every Tuesday, Wednesday night, so that really doesn't... he's busy Tuesday, Wednesday night. So I also run another game here on Twitch on Monday nights, so that's out of the question. And I run a game offline on Thursday, so we'll really need to organise.
Jesus. Is there any chance of your Monday Twitches being able to swap with us?
Maybe. Yeah, they might be able to. I'll ask. I think one of them got a new job and might need to change things around anyway. So I'll ask them for next week, and maybe we can swap this game and theirs. If Monday's good for you. Actually, is it good for you, Kate? I know you had jobs Monday sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's no good for you.
Huh?
Did you say good or no good?
It's good, yeah. No, I finish work at 5:30 on Mondays.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. All right, well, I'll see if they can swap, and I'll keep you all posted on that. I think Alex, who was in the chat earlier, has probably gone to bed. I see Kate, you were in there. Doug, you were in there. Obviously, Maddie was in there.
Thanks for hiding all of that shit.
I saw Maddie cash in a bunch of points, so we name an NPC after him, Maverick the Centaur Lover. I think.
Nice, I love it.
Is he a lover that is a centaur, or does he love centaurs? I want to know. Like, is he kind of like a hey baby, but he's got like 4 legs and hooves and stuff, and he's a bit of a player.
Like, chest hair, can we do that? And like too much cologne.
Yeah, or is he in love with centaurs? just a regular guy that loves centaurs.
There's a centaur fetish. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his person, so that's probably what he's going.
That's just I think that's just Maddie in real life because yeah, he's just a leg man, but so like double the legs, you know.
Imagine mounting that.
Oh my god!
Fascinating.
God, Christ.
So someone actually takes the joke a little. Okay, no, that's fine. You know what? Good night, everyone. Good night. F in the chat if Kegs is
Fucking Twitch, mate. Jesus. Can't say that shit.
We can absolutely.
I'm pretty
we can
much
say
a
whatever.
boomer.
Look, we get kicked off Twitch. We're going to YouTube, baby. The
Yeah,
link's in the
I've seen the spam. I've seen the spam. YouTube's free. Whatever, Nightbot.
And yeah, we'll call it there for the night. I'm going to end the stream, but I'll keep talking to you on Discord for just a little bit of a wrap up. And everyone else, we'll catch you later. Bye bye.